Oh dear.
Episode 11, here we go. Welcome back to Oh Dear, presented by Bo's Bar and Stage. Another episode coming at you from the basement over Zoom because Alberta sucks and so does the weather. So this is what we've got for now. As always, a huge thank you to Bo's Bar and Stage, our presenting sponsor. A reminder, especially right now, they are open for takeout. Get in there, support them, do what you can. It's tough times for the restaurant industry right now. And you know what? Bo's does a great job still. Some great takeaway meals. Lots of stuff you can buy from them. And of course, we always want to give a shout out to their podcast, which keeps growing and has some amazing guests on it. So check out The Road, The Stage as well. Probably when you get about a third of the way through this and decide you don't want to listen to these idiots anymore. And I'm Ted Emmett. Thanks for joining us again. A special shout out to Oh Dear's unofficial lawyer. He doesn't know that he represents us, but he does, whether he likes it or not. Episode 11 sponsor Louis Corvo from Warren Sinclair LLP. And of course, we'll hear from Louis in a little bit. He was our feature interview for this episode as well. But first, as always, we're going to check in with the rest of the gang here, and we're going to switch things up a little bit, switch up the order, and introduce Kevin Walsh first, because now it's his turn to celebrate his 10th episode of Oh Dear, so happy anniversary. And like the old saying goes, he's an episode late and a foot short. So Kevin, how's it going?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it feels great to make it to episode 10. I never thought we'd get here, but here we are. You know what? I'm in a pretty good mood. The Oilers are headed to the playoffs, and so I'm excited to watch some playoff hockey. How's those Flames doing, Ted?
Oh, they're going to they've got lots of time to train in the off season. They're going to be fresh whenever the next season starts.
You can't even golf right now in Alberta.
Yeah, well, you can. London, I can.
Fair point.
Together, yeah. And hey, on that note, he's never come across a word he couldn't use incorrectly. Dustin Moore, how's it going?
Hey, you're pretty easy on me tonight. I appreciate that. Again, mixed feelings, just like the last episode. Pretty exciting, like Kevin said, to be on episode 11. I heard a stat the other day that said most podcasts average about 7 episodes before they're done. So to see us, 4 absolute nobodies from Red Deer, to get to episode 11 is pretty cool. So thanks everyone for the support. And, you know, as we sit here today, it was a beautiful night after a hail and a rainstorm during our Louis interview. So that was interesting. But again, I'm happy.
First time in your life you've ever been able to say you're better than average, hey?
Man, is that what I sound like? That's mean.
That was pretty mean.
And on that note,
I'm just picking up Ted's slack.
Yeah.
Now I got to introduce the man who's never come across a salad. Ryan Lund, how's it going?
Thanks, Ted. Yeah, I'm happy too. Weather's good. I can golf. Oilers are in the playoffs. Things are going pretty good for me.
I'm glad to know that. Now I'm feeling good going into the rest of this episode. And hey, great timing, because as always, we're going to kick things off with the Glad game.
The Glad game is brought to you by DNA Plumbing and Heating, Central Alberta's plumbing and heating experts. Have a leak? No hot water? DNA is here for you, serving Sylvan Lake and Central Alberta with 24-hour service and 7 days a week. If you're looking to give your kitchen or a bathroom a facelift, visit DNA's showroom specialist Mike Dempster for expert advice and assistance. Learn more at dnaplumbing.ca.
You know, I never really kick off the Glad game, so I think today I'm going to kick it off because mine is pretty specific to a person. We don't normally do this, but I'm going to give one of our good friends a shout out because he does deserve it. Keith Henderson. We know him as Cleeth. I have to give him a shout out. He runs our Saturday poker games all winter. Every Saturday night, there's sometimes upwards of 20 people on there. And if you know Keith, you know that on the best of days, math is not his strong suit. So you add in anywhere between 1 and 12 beer, and he's trying to track everyone buying in, keeping track of the money, getting guys to pay. Like, it's a lot of work, and he loves to do it. And then at 1 a.m., he always FaceTimes us just to say goodnight. So I think as far as, you know, our social lives go, that was a big part of our last year and a bit. And really the only way we stayed in touch with a lot of our other friends. So Keith, thank you so much for doing that. You do deserve a shout out. And I know there are lots of Keiths out there doing stuff like that and doing what they can just to keep everyone together and a little bit of sanity. And I will too. I think he actually was the first ever listener of this podcast because he was one of the test listeners before we even aired episode 1 to make sure we didn't suck too bad. And ever since, he's listened to every episode. He sits through every Instagram live, like all of it. So Keith, cheers to you.
Attaboy, Andy.
We love you, Keith.
There you go, sucking up again.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, everybody. I'll go next. I'm glad for Red Deer finally having direction, Red Deer College, I guess, having direction on where they're going to go. They're going to be a polytechnic institution, and this one's pretty cool because my wife's a professor at the college right now. I don't think they have the name set in stone of where they're going to go with, but they are instituting a Bachelor of Science degree. It's one of their first test degrees, so pretty cool. She's involved in the science program. She gets to help develop the program. We're going to be keeping kids local to get their degree versus sending them off to other universities, and hopefully keeping them in the city after they're done college or with the Polytechnic. So pretty cool. Glad for that.
I'll go next here. This one's not really Red Deer, Alberta related, but it's Canada related.
Yeah, that's where we live.
Yeah, so that still counts.
We live in the Pacific region.
Yeah.
No, we're in the Arctic region.
We're in the
Alberta.
Atlantic region.
Atlantic.
We're in the Midwest. So I don't know if you guys heard today, but one of the cryptocurrency creators of Ethereum, he donated $1 billion to India to help with their COVID surge right now. So he obviously donated it in his cryptocurrency, and I know everyone's got their own feelings about it, but when it can affect real world situations, it shows that it's actually doing something good. And he's Canadian too, so yeah, that's the first real big donation. I think it's one of the largest personal donations that's been made towards the fight against COVID so far. So hopefully more billionaires follow suit.
Wow, that's you guys both were so good, and I talked about Keith and his Keith running an Excel spreadsheet for poker. They're all equally important.
Yeah, to be fair, Keith held our friend group together there over some rough months, so we're all good. Maybe a little controversial, but just wanted to comment that I am glad that the city of Red Deer has decided to keep funding the Westerner Park. Some say, they've run the business poorly and they shouldn't need this money, but at the end of the day, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and I read the article yesterday and kind of stepped back and thought about it. And the Westerner Park, not just the Centrium, but all the grounds, we all know about Westerner Days, but that creates a huge economic boost to not only Red Deer, but just Central Alberta as a whole. I mean, you can't find a hotel room when Westerner Days are on, or Agritrade, or any big trade show that comes through here. We're starting to get some really good concerts in there, and I'm glad that the city was able to fund it, but also it seems like they're taking a lot harder stance, and I hope they follow through with that. Can you imagine if they don't give that funding and Westerner Park basically shuts down? Think about the land that place encompasses and what we'd be losing, like just empty space.
Yeah, the Centrium, the house that Dustin Moore built.
Exactly. I mean, what we'd miss so much. Yeah, there it is. So
Dustin's pointing to a jersey because he forgets that this is a podcast.
His own jersey.
Use the video, Ted.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's a good thing. I think there's still a lot of work to do, and I hope the city can follow through and they put a lot of focus on this because it's really important to our city. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think at least anyone who's listening to this who was maybe against it, I think you turned them.
Maybe.
Like you lawyered the hell out of that. And hey, Lund, what do we call that in the radio business?
We call it flipping the script.
Yeah. Or a segue, but that's both because we're gonna one of these days, every time I lob one up to you, it's the biggest whiff.
Well, you're not a very good setter, I guess.
No, I'll work on that. But it is time now to move into our interview with episode sponsor Louis Corvo from Warren Sinclair. A great conversation. We actually just had it a couple hours ago, like we mentioned, outside in the rain. Got nice at the end, but we managed to fandangle a little bit of a canopy and make it happen. So without further ado, here we go. All right, well, a little rain ain't bringing us down. We are still here in the backyard with Louis Corvo, who doesn't know it, but is the unofficial lawyer of the Oh Dear podcast and our episode sponsor as well. So, Louis, the forecast was looking a little grim. We already canceled on you once, so thanks for coming. For just some described audio, we're sitting under a tent with a couple umbrellas propping it up right now. So we MacGyvered the hell out of this just to have Louis here. So, Louis, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. First of all, if you're going to say I'm your lawyer, I'm going to need a retainer. That's official policy. So
yeah, and we gave you a beer, so...
We don't have a dentist. What do you mean by retainer?
Oh. Okay, well,
that's a good one.
That just kicked off the interview. Awesome.
Attaboy, Dustin. Stay hot.
So Louis, first off, we're excited to have you on because you're one of those guys that you're a huge member of the community and you're so humble and you don't really put yourself out there a lot. You just do it to do it. And people don't even know how big of a piece of the community you really are. So we're happy to have you. And start off, I guess, you're a Red Deer transplant as well. You come from the East Coast, which is pretty cool. But just talk about your time in Red Deer and what you do both professionally and I guess if recreationally, if there is such a thing for lawyers.
I've been in Red Deer for almost 7 years now. I came here May long 2014, so that's pretty close to 7 years here.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Thanks. Lucky 7. Hopefully it's going to be a good year. Yeah, I've been here for 7 years. I moved here to start practicing law as an articling student at Warren Sinclair. And then, after I'm not busy working at the office, I play some golf. Well, I pretend to golf. I just suck at it really bad. But play some hockey in the winter when it's not COVID. And I like to ride my motorcycle once in a while. So.
Oh, I didn't even know that about you. So that makes you even cooler.
Yeah, well, some people call me an organ donor, but...
yeah, but that's important.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. It's good to relax and enjoy the countryside. It's quite beautiful out there. So,
what kind of motorcycle do you have?
It's an old 1980 CX 500,
and we all know exactly what you mean.
Walsh,
exactly.
Oh yeah, one of those. Yeah.
That's a nice one.
500 horsepower, right?
Yeah, kind of. Not horsepower, CCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, Kev.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Same difference. Yeah. But I like to volunteer with the Piper Creek Optimist Club. I used to be on the board of used to be called the Youth and Volunteer Center. Now it's called the Youth HQ, which also has Big Brother Big Sister Boys and Girls Club, and I'm also the president for the French Canadian Association in Red Deer.
Wow, cool.
So
yeah, didn't know that
I'm learning lots here today.
Yeah, so I've been president for a year, board member with them for 2 years now. So
are you fluent both languages? French
I actually grew up French Canadian. English is my second language. Yeah.
So we'll redo this interview in French then, and we can open up to a whole new demographic. Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Oui.
Yeah. So you're from New Brunswick. What is that like? Because tell us exactly where you're from in New Brunswick, but then coming from small town East Coast to Red Deer's it's still one of the biggest cities in Alberta, so it's got to be quite a change.
No, absolutely. I grew up in a small town called Clare in New Brunswick. If you ever look at a map of New Brunswick, it kind of has a square shape and it has like this weird little panhandle part of it. I grew up in that little panhandle there, just squished between the state of Maine and the province of Quebec. It's about 10-minute drive, let's say north to Quebec. So can you go get beers at 18 and go to the gentleman's club there and all that. But and the state of Maine is actually just across the river, kind of Red Deer North, Red Deer South. My parents' property was right on the river. So you get out every morning, it's just the river and then the state of Maine right there.
And then you come to Red Deer.
Yeah.
And there's a field.
Yeah.
And then there's another field.
Exactly. It is quite a different landscape for sure. I grew up northern New Brunswick. It's kind of all hills and, it's in the Appalachian Mountains, right? So it's kind of not hillbilly country, but kind of everybody's a lumberjack or works in a chicken farm or potato farmer, that kind of stuff. So pretty different landscape for sure. But in the fall, I do miss the colors. There's something, I remember the first time I came out to Alberta in 2012 to work a summer job. I just couldn't believe how open things are, right? Just it's flat and it's just...
Nothing's open anymore.
No, yeah. But just the open space, it's quite interesting that way, but do miss certain things for sure.
So we know about your roots now from being out east. So why and how did you get to Red Deer? Like why Warren Sinclair? How did that come about?
There's different versions to it, to be perfectly honest, depending who you ask. But
well, Louis, we're asking you.
Yeah. No, because I know you guys know the guys that could tell a different story. But after doing my undergrad at the University of Ottawa, I went to law school at the University of Moncton in New Brunswick. The University of Moncton is a Francophone university, and there's also a law school program there. Because in New Brunswick, there's 30% of the population that's first language French. So there's a need to train lawyers that understand, obviously they're lawyers, but also that can practice it in French to basically better serve their clients. So went to law school, got accepted. First day I get in there, I'm sitting there. It's like that first initiation. Everybody's, trying too hard, wearing a suit. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And then this guy walks in, this tall guy with long hair. And I'm like, oh, who's this guy? Whatever. I start talking to him. huge Anglophone accent. I'm like, okay, where's this guy from? He's like, oh, I'm from Red Deer, Alberta. I was like, first of all, I've heard Red Deer once on a map. Like, I've heard of it before. Have no idea where it is, right? He's like, oh, then anyway, so we became really good buddies. For those that know him, it's Michael Sinclair.
No way. I haven't heard this story. That's awesome.
He's a lawyer at Warren Sinclair as well. So we became good buddies, drinking buddies, to be perfectly honest, in law school. And then at the end of the first year, had just done through a breakup with my girlfriend at the time. I didn't really have any plans for the summer. It was 2012 in Alberta. Mike was just saying, hey man, you should just come to Red Deer, find yourself an easy job, and we'll just party all summer, hang out in Red Deer. So I was like, that sounds great. So anyways, long story short, I find a job, tell him that, and then he says, hey, my parents offered if you want to stay with us, there's an extra room instead of shacking up with random people for 2 months, right? So show up at his parents' place, and for those that don't know, Don Sinclair, Mike's dad, is the Sinclair of Warren Sinclair. And I got to know them that summer. And then one night, this is Don and Mike's version, is that I brought Don out for beers and got him drunk and convinced him to give me a job. And my version is he said, you want to go for a beer? And then I saw an opportunity and asked for a job. So that's how it happened. And then that was after first year of law school. And then during the summer between second and third year, Don called me and said, hey, the firm's offering you a job if you want to be an articling student. And I accepted it and came here 2014. And here I am 7 years later.
And you haven't looked back, hey?
Haven't looked back.
So are there, in Red Deer here, are you the only Francophone lawyer, or are there quite a few?
I would say I'm the only French first language lawyer, but Mike Sinclair and his brother John Sinclair at our firm also went through the University of Moncton to law school, so they would be able to do it.
Yeah, Red Deer's never struck me as a French rich community, but I guess they're out there, right? So
yeah, I mean, I get some opportunities with a lot of clients, a lot of people from either they're Franco-Albertans or expats from Eastern Canada that have companies or whatnot, and they need a will, real estate, whatever, right? Business work, corporate work, divorces.
So that's a question we should ask. What do you actually specialize in?
Walsh is upset. He was ready to ask that, and Lund jumped in.
Just jumped right in.
You gotta be quick. You gotta be quick on the draw, Kev.
I was sitting here like this.
You're always sitting there like this.
You might have a domestic dispute to settle here, Louis, right now. Yeah.
Well, guys, I have enough attention to all of you equally, so take your time.
It's okay. Deal with Ryan
You'll get your turn.
Good luck beating that question, Kev.
Oh, he just lawyered the shit out of you, Walsh.
Kev, sustained.
You even remember the question now?
I do. What I specialize in. Well, you don't want to say, hey, I do this only, and then people think you don't do other things, right? I tell people, call me, and if I can't help you, I'll find you the person to help you. Our firm, we have about 18, 19 lawyers. Honestly, we do most of everything under the sun, other than criminal defense law or high-end immigration stuff, right? Because there's not a federal court here, so there's not really a lot of opportunity for work for that. But other than that, call us. We'll be able to help you for sure. I mean, yeah.
But do you have an aspect of law that, I don't know if the words enjoy, that whether you feel you're best at or you enjoy the most, you know the most about?
I do enjoy, to be perfectly honest, I enjoy doing the estate planning. It's a bit morbid for people to talk about their death and if they're going to be incapacitated and all that. But at the end of the day, I really enjoy it. I find they're very important documents because we get calls from people say, hey, my dad, Alzheimer's, no power of attorney. The bills aren't getting paid. What do I do? So, well, you gotta get a court order to become their guardian, and it's 6-month process, and it's really unfortunate. But what I concentrate on is separations, prenups, and cohabitation agreements, real estate and wills.
I specialize in separations too, actually, in a different way. So,
is that right?
So cohabitation, would that be London Ted?
Yes. So here's the thing. In Alberta, you can be...
Don't give him any ideas.
We need answers.
Please don't give him any ideas.
In Alberta, you can be considered common law even though you're not dating. In your case, it would be you're not related, so you can definitely be considered common law. Ted, we need to talk later.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a legit question though, but he's paying rent. So doesn't that nullify all that common law stuff?
Doesn't matter. He could argue that you're getting rich on his back because you're accumulating equity in the house.
Yeah, all that tenement money.
Yeah, right.
So shifting back a little bit to when you mentioned not really any criminal defense. You guys don't do any criminal defense in court. Is that right?
Correct.
So would that be, for the average person who knows nothing about law, how similar is it to Suits on TV? You watch Suits?
I've actually started rewatching that the last couple of days just because we booked you to do the interview, and I started thinking about lawyers, and
that's how you do your due diligence, hey Ted?
Yeah, I watched Legally Blonde to prepare for this interview.
You know what? Yeah. If you're going to watch something, Legally Blonde is probably better.
Who's the Harvey Specter in The Office?
I don't know. Those characters are very...
made up.
Yeah.
You mean you can't go from selling weed to being a lawyer in a matter of 16 minutes?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. So we've talked now about Louis the lawyer. I apologize if that catches on because that's actually a terrible nickname. But let's talk about Louis the person. I know I can't speak for any of the other three guys. I met you specifically through the Piper Creek Optimist Club. And a little embarrassingly, I still remember. It's one of those things that every now and then randomly think about at night because I ran into you at the Arkells concert in Calgary. This was probably good 4 or 5 years ago. Louis came up, started talking to me, and this is going on. I had no idea who he was at all, and he's being super friendly and going, and finally it's like one of those times where you have to bite the bullet. I was like, sorry man, I can't quite like put a name to your face. Then Mike Sinclair walks up and immediately clicked to me who it was. I was like, I could have faked it for like 12 more seconds and had to avoid that because you look so hurt too. So this is just my opportunity to say I'm sorry for that, and I think about it all the time still.
Well, I did not remember that. That moment was erased from my memory.
Yeah, that apology wasn't for you. It was for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. To yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I feel
now you can
better.
stop thinking about it.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly why I did it. But so you have been part of the Optimist Club for a long time too, and we talked about it already a couple episodes ago. But you know, you've been on the board now a couple of years, and you're leaving a pretty cool legacy with this scholarship that's going. I think there's a couple months left in this first year. Just talk a bit about that experience and what that's been like for you, because I know Walsh and I are on the committee for that too, and it's been a pretty cool thing to do and something different that we haven't done before.
I think it was at the beginning of my time on the board with Piper Creek. Dustin was still on the board then. And I can't remember who brought it up, but someone said, maybe we should look into getting a scholarship or some kind of award. And I know Ted kind of said, yeah, that would be great. I think that's a good idea. And then the opportunity kind of came up, and I said, yeah, I can look into it. Got some information, and then eventually, slowly but surely, this year we kind of pulled the trigger on it and got everything together. Actually, then we formed this committee under our great dear leader, Mr. Lund.
Thanks, Louis.
Well, I mean,
I'll allow it.
Yeah, well, the guy in the suit over there is pretty threatening right now, so I'm gonna toe the line here. But Kevin was actually on the committee as well, and yeah, we pulled the trigger. Now it's out. Go look it up if you think you qualify. Make an application, and we'll review it.
And I want to commend you too, because it was your idea to make this not even as much of a scholarship as just an award, right? For youth around the community who give back, and whether you're going to post-secondary, like university, college, anything like that, or just a program. I think that one example you used was even makeup school, right? If you're doing something to further your education or to move into a career that costs money, you're eligible for this scholarship. And I thought that was something I never would have even thought of. So
yeah, no, that's the thing, right? Sometimes, especially our organization, we have a lot of professionals in our group, but also people from all walks of life. But we all do the same thing as involve in the community to volunteer and to raise money for the kids. It would defeat the purpose to not give a chance to all the kids, especially kids that do exactly what we do, is involve themselves and help other people. So I think it's a great opportunity to encourage young people, teenagers, to get involved in the community, and also maybe we'll get future members part of the club. I think there's a part of that too, to always think about succession.
I think we need a new president still, right, Lund?
Yeah, right after high school, I'll just come be president of the club. Why not?
You're leaving that seat pretty hot, so I don't know, it'll be
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Dustin, I don't think you got Louis' joke about the guy in the suit. He's talking about Lund's bodyguard because he's the president.
Yeah, I missed it all. I thought that Louis was just making fun of Lund for wearing sweatpants in the interview again.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You mentioned you're the president of the Canadian Francophone Association in Red Deer?
Correct.
How many members do you guys have?
We've got about 70 members right now. Most of our activities are driven that if you're not a member, you can still come.
Right.
But
so it's more like provides a social aspect?
Correct. That's straight up what it is. It's a long time ago. It probably had a bit more of a political goal to it, but now it's mostly just well with COVID it's impossible, right? But we'll set up just like go grab some coffee somewhere, have a beer somewhere. The owners of the ABC Country restaurant are Franco-Manitobans, so they support us a lot. So anytime we want to do a Christmas dinner, or we also do in the spring we do the winter carnival, kind of like, you know, maple taffy on snow and beans and just like traditional Sugar Shack food.
What's a traditional Sugar Shack?
Well, no,
It sounds awesome.
No,
I can see Ted drooling from here.
Traditional, modern, I don't care.
Yeah.
You had me at Sugar Shack.
Yeah. Well, for those that don't know, it's just maple comes from trees and usually, yeah. Well, you'd be amazed. I guess some people don't know that. So usually it's a farm, right? Someone will have 500 to 1,000 maple trees, and then they harvest the maple water, and then they boil it to create the syrup, all the levels of maple product. But also normally what would happen is that the people would have kind of like a log cabin or just a shack, but people could go and then they serve traditional food like bacon, sausage, beans, pancakes, meat pies like tortilla and stuff like that, right? So it's really it's a great time in the spring to go there when you're in an area of Canada that has that.
My one question that I came into this interview and I really wanted to know was not that lawyers have the like scary, oh, you're talking about lawyers, but like how, like when you're sitting at home, when you're sitting at home and you're looking at a document or thinking about a will, or like how little or how big are you guys at Warren Sinclair? Like, is it if somebody has a question about law, do they just call the office or how does that work? Like,
you just call the office. You call the office, say, hey, I'd like to talk to someone. Either we're busy or the assistant will book you in, or if we're available, you'll get transferred directly and someone will talk to you, will answer your questions, whether it's a cost question or a process question. And if it's more related to the law itself, you'll be transferred to a lawyer or booked a time to talk to someone. And don't hesitate. Just call. There's no, honestly, I know it sounds cliche, but there's no stupid questions. I mean, there is some stupid questions.
Well, don't test Dustin.
Yeah, well, no, but at the end of the day, if it's in relation to your life, there's no stupid question. Maybe it's an easy answer for me because I do that all the time. I deal with it every day. But for you, for that person, it is a big help. And I guess that's why we're in this, right?
So I guess where that question came from is I've seen or come across or had to fill out documents that contain a lot of legal terms that I have no idea about. Do I book a meeting and say, hey, what does this mean? Like, what am I signing? Or like, is that something you guys come across?
Yeah, we have lots of people that call. Sometimes it's, hey, I got to sign this commercial lease and it has to be signed in front of sometimes the landlord wants it to be signed in front of independent legal advice, in front of a lawyer. Sometimes it's just in front of a witness, or they want us to review it. And then turns out it's, Friday at 11:30 and has to be given to the landlord at 4 p.m. that day, right? And that kind of stuff. That's a bit annoying, but if we're able to do it, we do it, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, we get calls all the time. We have people that someone wants their passport notarized because they're trying to work in Dubai. Some people that have separation agreements that's been prepared by another lawyer and they want to sign it. So yeah, absolutely. You call. There's no, like I said, there's no silly questions, and you'll be directed the right way.
And that was a good question. You took the long way there to ask it, but it was a good question. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a couple questions for you, Lou. Have you heard any good lawyer jokes lately?
I have not, but I have a good one though.
Okay, go. I want to hear a lawyer joke from a lawyer if you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can tell it.
So this guy, he has 3 sons and he's an older gentleman and he's, sitting in his backyard thinking about his life, and he thinks about his son. First one's a doctor, second son's an engineer, the third one's a lawyer. So he thinks about that, and then one day his sons come over, have a beer and whatnot, and he tells his sons, you know what, guys, I put you guys through school. Because of me now, you guys have good money, you have good careers, you're really successful, and I truly believe it's because of me. So I want you guys that when I die, I want you to put $100,000 in my casket with me, then that I'll be buried with, just so you guys get some skin in this game as well, like I did for you. I'm not benefiting from your success. So eventually, like 10 years later, dad passes away, and the will is like, remember what I told you guys, you got to do it. So first son comes up and he's the doctor and teary-eyed and he's sad because his dad died. He's not crying because he has to give the money. So he goes and lays out all this money in all just perfect $50 bills just right on his dad. Tells his prayers, whatever, then goes and leaves. second son comes, the engineer. Because he's an engineer, he's got the bills just all wrapped up perfectly. And so he puts all of that there just perfectly. Says his prayers, walks away. Lawyer's son comes, goes on his knees, does his thing, stands up, grabs his briefcase, puts all the cash in the briefcase, writes a check for $300,000, puts it in the casket and walks away.
You know, like I said, you may have lived in Red Deer for 7 years, but the way you told that joke and how long it was you're still an East Coaster at heart too. Like, I love it the whole time. I was like, oh yeah, this is like being back with my dad's family too. So
In all your time at Warren Sinclair, do you have one meeting or one client that sticks out with like the craziest request or the silliest question or the...
Well, I
ever heard of attorney-client privilege?
He doesn't have to name the client.
No. I won't
explain the situation or something.
Yeah, I won't name John Smith by name, but
won't name Dustin Moore.
Dustin Moore, yeah.
Forgot his wife's middle name.
Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah.
With Louis.
There's lots from different levels, right? From when you start as an articling student, you're just blown away by some things. But the one that really, really sticks out, and I'll remember for the rest of my life, it was a cold call. The receptionist calls me. She says, Louis, there's this guy here. I'm not sure what he wants. He wants to talk to a lawyer. He's kind of insistent. So I go meet with this guy, comes in. Seems like a decent guy. He's like, hey, how's it going? Good. You? Yeah. We sit down and he goes and says, so I'm going to start with this directly. He's like, so I got arrested with weed in my car. I'm like, okay, that criminal defense. Like I go, oh, we don't really. He's like, no, I'm okay with that. So the gentleman, the gentleman was a free man of the land.
Oh yeah,
like believes that the laws don't apply to him. And he went on this rant. And I said, hey man, how much of that weed you have left? Because that's good stuff. Like seriously. I was like, that's really good stuff you're smoking there. It's a pretty funny, and I'm not going to get into the details because, I don't want to be a typical East Coaster and talk for an hour. So.
Fair enough. That works. Yeah. All right, well, we got through all the lawyer talk. Now the sun is out, but we're talking about the scholarship already. It's May, it's grad season. So not only do we want to celebrate grad season a bit, Louis, but I want to see how well you can lawyer your way out of some of these questions. In high school yearbooks, there's always the superlatives, right? Most likely to do this or who was that. So let's hypothetically pretend we're all a high school class or colleagues, as Dustin would say, high school colleagues.
My God, let's keep bringing up the past episodes.
So we want to know, we just want to hear your best answer for all of these out of the four of us. No feelings will get hurt. We can take it.
Is there a right or wrong answer?
No, this is exactly just specifically what
fully
you
subjective?
Think based on what you know about the four of us. So we're going to call this the high school deer book. I don't know if I like that, but I said it.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that.
So I'm gonna start with an easy one. Who would you vote cutest couple? Dustin and Walsh or me and Lund?
Oh man, I would say you and Lund.
My feelings are hurt.
Because they're common law.
Yeah, probably because
they're already legally a couple. So
it looks like Louis trying to get some business out of this.
Hey, we never told him not to.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. My first question: who is most likely to miss a meeting because of oversleeping?
I want to say probably Ted.
Yeah, I missed like 3 scholarship committee meetings in a row. So.
Fair answer then.
Yeah.
Who's the most likely to get ID'd when they're 40?
You.
I mean, you asked that. You asked that for yourself. So
shave your beard, man, and
I want to look young. Yeah,
that's true.
Good one.
Most likely to get arrested.
Man, it's a close. It's a tight race, but I'm gonna say probably Dustin.
Yeah.
Was Lund second place?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Who out of the four of us would you think would be the teacher's pet? And there is a right answer to this one because there's 3 of us that would agree.
I want to say, Kevin right off the bat because he's more of the, academic guy. But I want to say probably you, Ted.
I would be teacher's pet. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, happy Mother's Day to everyone is my answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Ted.
Yeah, I honestly would think Dustin would be teacher's pet.
No.
He's
I got 50 in high school.
Yeah, but you're still a suck up.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't the teacher's pet.
I'm talking now though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get 100 too. Who's most likely to act in the adult film industry?
Oh, that's a tough one, Lundy.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, thanks, buddy. There wouldn't be any acting.
I don't have any, anatomy references whatsoever, but I just think,
I'm a performer, Louis, so I'll take it.
Hey.
I'm glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
most likely to win a Grammy?
Well, who of you is
that
Maybe
music?
maybe
That's
for
music,
spoken
right?
word album is probably the
Yeah,
best.
who
we're
of
gonna
you
get.
is
Well,
for spoken word?
I play a recorder.
Like, does comedy go in Grammy? Yeah. Oh, Dustin. Dustin is one of the funniest guys I know.
I don't know if there's a
Alright.
Grammy for accidental comedy, but he would
Hey.
win it.
I'll take it.
Well, you could win for the producer because you just put a mic on him and you just.
Yeah.
All right. Who's most likely to win the Hunger Games?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, I'm always hungry, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Hunger Games.
The battle to the death.
I don't know. I've seen Dustin play hockey. He's got a pretty mean slap shot. He's pretty strong. So I would say Dustin for the win for that one.
I'm on fire, boys. I'm on fire. I think I know the answer to this one, and I hope you do too, Louis. Who is most likely to burn down the house while cooking?
Is it you, Lundy?
That's not my answer.
No, actually, I wouldn't say.
No.
Lund cooks some terrible meals, but
He
I've
won't burn
left
down
the
the house?
barbecue on a couple, well, at least once.
Oh, so that's you?
Or the oven.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Dustin, have you left the barbecue on or the oven on?
No, I thought he might go you though, because I've heard about your meals.
Yeah, just from Ted though.
That's who's likely to give someone botulism, but he does turn. Well, he doesn't even turn the crock pot on, so it couldn't burn the house down.
God, you forget to turn it all the way up one time, and all of a sudden it's like
That's how
the
you
end
make
of the
cold
world.
soup.
I mean, hopefully you have this. I was going to ask this. I thought we'd all be wearing shorts. I thought it'd be nicer, but who would you vote nicest legs? Yeah, Lund can pull his sweatpants up.
Nice tan line. I've never been put on a spot to judge a man's body before.
Yeah.
Well, then you haven't lived.
It's all the same. Yeah.
I'm going to say Kevin. He's a runner. He's fit.
They're
Smallest calves,
yeah.
though, we found out.
nice and short. Like
But it's all muscle.
Allegedly.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, so last one. Who would be voted most suitable to bring home to mom and dad?
Like I'll wear real pants if they bring me home to mom and dad.
Okay.
He won't.
Just picture that.
I would say you, Ted.
Oh, I'd say you're wrong, but
Well,
Is
you
it
have,
because
you
I'm
have
the
the
only
most experience, that's for sure.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go
Yeah, fair
again.
enough, yeah. It's like golf, right? It's easier the second time around, so or third. We'll see.
Third time's the charm.
All right, no, you did a great job of navigating that. I'm sure you've
So you
never
guys
been
have-
tested harder as a lawyer in your whole life than right there, and
Yeah, no,
proud to say we're the ones who did it.
yeah, for sure.
So now that's a good place to end on. Louis, thank you so much for doing this. And, again, you're such a huge supporter of the community and us. I remember, when the Rustlers started up, you were a supporter of them, bought season tickets, went to games. And I think we were only 1 or 2 episodes deep here when Dustin kind of strong-armed you into partnering with us as well. And I know you said to me even, hey, no problem, man. It's important to support arts and culture. And now, like 10 episodes later, do you regret calling us arts and culture?
I don't. I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah.
It'll, it's like a growing leaf, right? It starts little and then it just, one day it's going to blossom in a beautiful
Yeah,
flower.
we've need some sunlight because we've been in the shade.
Well,
way
you've
too
had water
long.
now, so, But no, seriously, thanks for having me, guys. You guys do a great job. You're always a good entertainment on my car drives home and to the office. And no, you guys do a great job, and it's really good to see you guys are doing so well so far.
Well, it's guys
Thank
it's guys like you and, other people who, are close to us that have reached out and partnered with us. But just for anyone who's still listening to this interview, because Lund took us off the rails there for a bit.
That's okay. That part got cut.
Yeah, he's going to edit this, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. But
We're not live.
in all seriousness, if you're looking for a lawyer, if you need law help, call Warren Sinclair and Louis. He'll point you in the right direction. There's tons of young lawyers. You guys have a great mix in your office with a lot of knowledge. So when you're looking or buying a new home, a will, anything you need, call Warren Sinclair. They're a great part of the community, and use them.
Yeah. From your new house to your divorce, we'll be there.
One
I
of
can
those
just see
things-
you on a bus
Yeah.
bench beside Andrew Russell
Yeah.
with that quote.
Buy your house from Andrew. When it goes to shit, I'm your guy.
Call Warren Sinclair. Tell them Lundy sent ya.
When your marriage turns pooey, call Louis.
Okay, we got to end on that. Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
And that's a wrap.
Well, a huge thank you to Louis Corvo again for coming and joining us. Honestly, one of the nicest guys on the planet, and nice to see him as a guy really we've only seen over Zoom lately too. And man, what a way to end, Lund.
Wow. I mean, I could tell Louis needed a catchphrase. So, and it sounds like he's doing pretty well, but I mean, I'm sure if he starts saying that slogan, he's going to get tons and tons of business, especially during this pandemic.
He texts me after the interview and he goes, Moorsy, I just put a new business card order in, and that's my new slogan. And he was looking into advertising on like gates on those billboards and stuff. So Lundy, I think he should probably get some commission from Louis.
You know what? If he doesn't want to play ball, I'll just hire another lawyer and sue his ass.
Well, hey, you can even expand it. Just say, if your life gets pooey, call Louis, and then it encompasses everything. But no, thank you again to Louis. I will say, I keep meaning to say this every time we have a segment that he's sponsored by too. He's getting really close to having his first child as well. I think he said the beginning of June, maybe possibly a birthday buddy with Ryan Lund. But congratulations to Louis and his wife. Best of luck there, and great interview again. I think we learned a lot and had a little bit of fun. And I didn't know how it was going to go talking about law, which obviously could be pretty dry, but I thought, it was great.
So, Lundy, I think I have a business idea for you. So I've used Warren Sinclair in the past. They have a patent and trademark lawyer. So you go, you trademark that phrase, and then you sell it back to their firm.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
How much do you think they'd pay for it? Like 10,000, 100,000.
A reputable law firm would probably, I would guess, pay a lot
$1 million
for a slogan with the word pooey in it.
Yeah. At least six figures.
How have we gone this long without a slogan with the word pooey in it?
Yeah.
How could we even call ourselves a law firm?
Warren Sinclair, LLP, legal law practice.
Is that what you think it means?
Does it not?
No.
Oh, what?
I like that. I think that's it's to the point. Everyone knows that you're talking about a law practice that way.
What
I
is
actually
it?
don't know what it means, but I know it doesn't mean that.
Is it litigators?
No.
What is it?
It's limited liability partnership.
Oh, well, I learned something today.
At least what you said made sense.
Yeah, I thought it made sense.
You learned what it stands for, but you don't know what it means.
No.
Dustin, it can mean anything you want it to mean. It's just letters, man. No one, you can come up with your own definition for it. So
I could think of probably 100 words that what it stands for, but you don't know what it means. So just add it to the list.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if Dustin knows 100 words.
Yeah.
Hey, easy! I beat you in the competition. Remember?
Yeah, I'm still a little sour.
Games.
Yeah, at the 100% luck games, the luck Olympics.
Man, I could listen to this all night, but we do have some stuff and some things to get to. So one last thank you to Louis. If you do need him, if your life in general gets pooey, just call Louis.
There it is.
That's got to be, that was great. So
I just thought of another acronym. Lund's life partner.
That's Ted.
Oh, Ted Emmett, LLP.
Ryan Lund, LLP.
Well, no. How could
Ted
Ryan
Emmett.
Lund? Yeah.
Ted Emmett, LLP.
Oh,
sorry.
Way to make it.
You can edit that out.
Way to ruin it. Yeah, well. But speaking of pooey, the four of us, before everything shut down and the new restrictions came in, the four of us did manage to get out for a round of golf. And it was very pooey for me, which most games are. But that brings us into our Red Deer Spotlight, brought to you by Tourism Red Deer. And Tourism Red Deer and the Nursery Golf and Country Club out in Lacombe hooked us up with a round. So we went just over a week ago now it would have been. So if you're listening to this, it probably 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it may be. But huge thank you to Braden out at the nursery as well. No questions asked, got us out there. It was windy, I'll tell you that much. But it was a lot of fun, and you may or may not have seen on social media the couple videos, the photos of us out there, but not many chances to go out and shoot a 6 or even a 7 and be pretty happy with it. But that 11th hole, right? Longest, I didn't know until we went and I looked it up. It's the longest golf hole in Canada. That's 780-yard par 6. And obviously, right, that alone makes a pretty unique place to golf.
That hole is a monster. And to make things harder, they have a little creek or a little stream or a little pond right in the middle of the par 6 to make it even more difficult. I mean, completely unnecessary, but we had a good time.
We had a match, so it was me and Kev versus Ted and Lund. We were smoking them so bad on the front 9. I think we won the first 5 holes or something. that we had to switch teams on the back nine. And when we got into the par 6 and we played with our putters, it was pretty cool to see that we almost scored because we played our real balls and then we played alternate shot with the putter. We were close with our like 1 or 2 strokes off of what we actually scored on the hole with real clubs. Just goes to show you how screwed up the game of golf is.
How bad we are
I
at
hit
golf.
maybe the best shot of my life ever, and it was with a putter.
From
right?
like 150
I hit
yards
like
out.
just a nasty like low stinger from like 150 out. Yeah. Well, then I guess right after I hit my real shot and smacked the pin, so I had 2 good shots in a row. But yeah, it's a good hole. Like I think 3 of us went in the water, still on the green with a chance to sink it for a 5 for a birdie. So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm jealous of you guys because you all hit it 50 yards further than I do. But pretty cool to just get out and play that hole.
It's a pretty cool claim to fame. Longest hole in Canada. Like you think how many golf courses are in Canada, and I'm sure it's not the only par 6, but I think more courses should have. It just gives you more chances to recover after a really crappy shot or crappy shots.
Yeah, it's a unique hole for sure. And for those that don't know, it's called the nursery because it actually used to be a tree nursery before it was a golf course. And so they've made the holes kind of strategically in between where a lot of the trees are placed. So there's a lot of different trees on the course. And that's not meant to sound scary to anyone because you guys know we hit it in the trees. And most of the time you're able to find your ball. Like it's kind of spaced out. You know, we went here early May, so definitely not in peak form, just like any other course isn't at this point. But I've golfed there a lot in the past, and I can tell you in midsummer, it's a very nice course. The rounds don't take long, and it's in a beautiful spot.
It's a nice, easy course to walk too, right? Like there's some that it is a little tougher, a lot of up and down, but it's a good, fun course to walk. And I've actually only played it twice. You know, we played it there, the Chubbs, a couple of years ago. So obviously a lot of fun memories there, but it is good. You know what? I don't know if wide open is the word, but it's definitely playable. It's only a half hour outside of the city too. You know, I think it's like, what was it, Dustin? Like $50 to go and walk 18, like even on a weekend. So it's by golf standards, right? It's a good price. And yeah, like Walsh said I thought it was in pretty good shape again for early May. I think not any worse than you would find anywhere else. And think about the shape all the golf courses are going to be in now with how little play they're going to get the next 3 weeks. And we're getting some rain and some sunshine and some heat. So when things open back up, it's going to be really nice out there.
Yeah, I think we need to go back in a month or two after we got a few more rounds under our belts because we were terrible. I mean, I kind of threw in the towel after the first 5 holes, but
I think that was mainly due to the wind though. The wind is so discouraging when it's that strong.
So is every single golf shot I took that day. That was pretty discouraging too. I had to take a timeout.
Yeah,
I actually gave myself a timeout on the 4th hole.
Yeah, we were not a good team on the front nine. like you only blame the wind so much, but when you don't even hit high enough to get it into the wind, you know you have a problem.
But hey, you can't complain, right? I think we all know that on this show we like golf, and it was great to get out. And first time all 4 of us got out together. Obviously, it's pretty tough with the restrictions and all that. But I think one of the easiest ways to stay safe, and do something kind of social and get out and active. So I understand why golf courses, I guess to an extent, have to be closed right now. But I hope that doesn't last, because I know last summer I got in probably twice as much golf as I ever did just for that reason. So yeah, you know what? I know lots of great golf in Central Alberta, and the nursery is a member of Tourism Red Deer, so we can't thank them enough for having us out. Hopefully we can get out there again, maybe have an actual some sort of competition where London and I bring a little bit to the table, but we'll be out there again. And as always, make sure you go to visitreddeer.com for a list of everything to do. I think they've got a couple other golf courses that are members as well. Check out the nursery though. We highly recommend it. I kind of like the half-hour drive, just enough time to kind of loosen up, listen to some music, get in the right mind frame, which I guess, Len, that's probably why we didn't do very well, because we were late. So we're kind of rushed there. We were card at T-Box pretty quick, but thank you again to the nursery. And yeah, for Tourism Red Deer, we got some more fun stuff coming up. I get to take Dustin to the zoo tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one.
Hey, I'm going too.
Yeah, but I don't need to I don't need to supervise you.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
We're taking, you know what? We're taking Dustin.
Yes.
I never give you enough credit for your caretaking of Dustin too. We're a team.
Yeah. Just call me daddy.
No.
I might not. We'll see.
No,
We'll see.
thank you.
We'll see how things
That was
go.
between me and you, Kev.
Yeah, is that never telling anyone? All right, well, we are cruising along. This is great. And another thank you, as always, Door Tender delivered once again. And really, we got to all enjoy the Oh Dear bundle, which is cool. Again, thank you so much to Door Tender for doing that. As a reminder, it's a 12-pack of the Troubled Monk Troubled Tea, the Red Heart English Mild, Belly Hop Pear Face, and the Sawback East Coast Pale Ale. So I think it's $75. I think you save $7-8 or something like that on it in a bundle. And if you listen to the last episode, you already know it's a great mix, and we got to enjoy some of those with Louis. Worked out perfect. So a big thank you to Door Tender for that one once again.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just a great mix. I talked to my brother-in-law. He ended up ordering the Oh Dear bundle, and he's a big craft beer guy, and he had never tried the Troubled Teas before. And, like Bud Kelly at Troubled Monk, and we've all said, you just got to try it once, because I was the same way. I never thought I would like the hard iced tea, and he's like, man, this is really good. So, hopefully that people, when if they do order the Oh Dear bundle, they'll try out the different breweries and hopefully they like it. So another funny story with Door Tender is our Chubbs golf tournament. We order some birdie bottles, some birdie juice, and so I was going through and putting in our order this year, getting it ready for August. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we can go. And I screwed up. I was trying to order for the next day at like 2:00 in the afternoon when they actually were out doing deliveries, and they were closing in like 5 minutes, and I made this poor girl come with like $550 worth of booze to my house at 11 o'clock on a weeknight. I was embarrassed. I felt just like an idiot. I was in bed already. I had to get out, and yeah. So apologies to Door Tender, but I sure appreciate the service. That's for sure.
Is there a liquor shortage coming?
No, I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way before summer, and yeah, it didn't.
I'm really glad you made her rush over for beer that we need, or booze that we need 3 months later.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for coming right before 11. We need this for August 15th. So now I can sleep better. Thank you.
I told you guys I made a mistake.
I often do confuse with like 11 p.m. on a Tuesday with 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. So I get it. It's simple. Man, it happens to everyone.
Thank you, Door Tender.
I'm sure there's a video of Dustin just pouring a whole bunch of beers into jerry cans and just stuffing them in his shed to load up for the wave 4 of the pandemic.
That's why you're gonna be reordering a bunch, because you're just gonna get bored and drink a couple bottles.
Yeah, that beer ain't lasting.
Those are better. Those are as good as money. Those are IOUs.
Okay, I regret telling that story. Let's move on.
Yeah. So Dustin, you said you wish you didn't tell that story, but now we have a scheduled segment for you to tell a story.
Yeah, great timing.
because I don't know why we schedule it in. Like, do we ever go into an episode thinking, oh man, I am worried Dustin's not going to go off on a tangent and tell a story tonight. We better schedule it in.
Just in case, eh?
The worst part is I told my wife, I was like, hey, Dustin's story time's in this episode. She's like, why do you have that? You suck at telling stories.
Well, she's probably heard all your stories.
That was like the best story you've told. All right, segment over.
Yeah.
You know who loves stories? Gord's Smoke Shop. And funny enough, story time is brought to you by Gord's Smoke Shop. Gord's is still open, but customer capacity has been reduced. So it's the perfect time to utilize curbside pickup and delivery in Red Deer. Available Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And 'tis the season for smoking outside. Gord's cigar humidors are stocked with tasty smokes to enjoy on the golf course or at home on the patio. Gord's is also more than just tobacco and smoking accessories. Hacky sacks, t-shirts, and backpacks are just the start of the funky giftware available from the non-smokers and tokers out there. Head to Gord's Smoke Shop at shit.
You're so close.
Head to gordsmokeshop.ca to start shopping now. Gord's Smoke Shop, everything you need but the weed.
That was anything but pooey.
Yeah, well, you're welcome, Gord.
Good job, Lundy. I thought you had more emotion this time around, so I liked it.
Good.
So, as always with story time, we've got the wheel of Dustin's stories here, and it's nice spinning this, knowing that it's not going to ruin someone's month. So we're going to spin it, Dustin. Can I spin it for you? Do I have your explicit permission? We're going to give it a spin and see what we land on, and that's what we're going to hear. I think it's nice. We have an embarrassing story.
Whoa. What are the odds?
Oh, let's take a quick peek at the story list. The story list here.
Do you have a story book there?
Well, yeah, there's no way he's winging it.
Yeah, I can't wing it. I'm going to try and keep this short tonight. This one comes in university. Everyone likes to party in university. My wife was doing her master's program, or might have been her PhD program at the time.
And your degree.
Yeah, and my degree. Yeah, good point. So she had to be at the call or at the university at 8 a.m. This was a Tuesday night, and I think I had just been named captain of the U of L team, and I wanted to get a team builder going. So we went out bowling, and well, you know how this turns out. Bowling turned into karaoke. We had guys singing "Who Let the Dogs Out."
How are we supposed to know that?
Yeah, everyone knows that, Ted.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Well, it turned into karaoke at a pub, which turned into beer pong in my garage till 5 a.m.
That's how all my bowling nights go.
Yeah, well, in university, right? So I'm gonna keep this short, but I go inside at 5 a.m. and I go to bed, and at the time I had a roommate, Jesse Hale, and he comes in and I fall asleep in my bed and wake Ashley up and fall asleep and had the spins or something. I woke up and I couldn't get out of the room. It was too dark in there.
It was spinning too fast.
Yeah. So
did someone move the door on you?
Yeah. I just couldn't get out. I had one too many drinks and I had the flu, I think. Because I vomited on the floor, and we had a dog, and so I've now woken Ashley up at 5 a.m. She's got to get up in an hour and a bit, and I've thrown up on the floor, and she's helping me clean it up, and I go, sorry honey, I got the 24-hour flu. Let's go back to bed. She goes, Dustin, you're gonna go sleep in the spare room. No. So she goes and sleeps in the spare room, and I have obviously no idea. I go back to bed, and somehow I've gone back to sleep, and I get woken up at 7:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. She's getting ready to go to the do her research, and all I hear is Dustin, and I rise out of bed like the Undertaker, terrified because I'm still snoozing. She's like, get in here, and I go in there, and I must have in the middle of the night sleptwalked into the bathroom and opened her makeup drawer up and just vomited again. Well, everyone who's listening will be like, that is disgusting and probably the worst place that you can throw up because there are a lot of different kinds of makeups. So she's obviously frustrated and
oh, really? Tell us about them.
Fuming. Well, there's mascara, there's the brushes, there's lipstick, you name it. So
all
anyways,
the makeups. That's a lot of makeups.
She's like, deal with this, which is fair. I was so embarrassed and couldn't believe that I had done something like that. I'd never done something, and still to this day have never done something since like that. So she's like, deal with this. So I remember I put all of her makeup stuff in a sink and washed it off all with soap. And I remember taking all of her makeup, everything, brushes, mascara, lipsticks, everything, and taking it to the Mac store or the Bay or something, and just literally putting it on the counter and going, replace all this, please. And I spent I don't even know how much it was, but it took quite a long time for her to be like, okay, Dustin, no more Tuesday Who Let the Dogs Out at the Duke anymore in Lethbridge. So that is my embarrassing story. I think I kept it to 4 minutes too, which is pretty impressive.
I'm very impressed that you were maybe not very much awake, but you were awake and you couldn't find your way out of the room, but you were sleepwalking and you managed to find your way out of the room.
Yeah, something about this story doesn't hang together very well. Yeah. So I have to say, first of all, I bet you're still not allowed to bowl anymore, but I'm going to add on to this because we've got time. And when you're talking about the spins, I have to tell this story. A couple of years ago, when we had our first Red Deer Rustlers pub night before the inaugural season had kicked off, and me, you, Kyle Pess, and Eric Frere did a hot stove, and no one knew how it was going to go. So we were a little nervous, so obviously drinking a bit before, and we managed to pull it off. People really enjoyed it. So we did some drinks, had some drinks on stage. People were buying us drinks after. So we had a lot that night. And I remember walking, I think we were walking to old William Roberts later. I was walking with some people, and you had disappeared. It was like maybe 10:45, 11 o'clock. And I had a call from Dustin. It's like a half whisper. Teddy, I just wanted to call to tell you 2 things. 1, great job tonight. That was awesome. 2, the room is spinning. Help me. I said, what? Well, what do you want me to do? I don't know. The room was spinning and I had to call you and I don't know what to do.
Where did he call from?
I was in my basement.
His basement, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you were already home.
He was home.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I've ever seen him leave at the same time as his wife when something like that is going on. And I bet you she was surprised too when you hopped in for a ride.
Yeah, she asked me that night. She's like, Dustin, you want to ride home? And I looked at her and I said, yep. Because I knew that I was in trouble, because I remember Lundy coming up on the stage with a shooter tray kind of mid hot stove and serving everybody. And then it was my first public experience, like public speaking in front of 400 plus people. So of course,
it was like 200, but we'll give it
well, whatever.
He was seeing double, so yeah, it's like 1 million people.
So yeah,
there.
I was happy to be at home in bed and try to get some sleep. And yeah, I just remember my mom looked at me and go to my dad, "How come you never come home when I go home?" And I was like, "Yeah, I never usually do this either."
I don't think I would think to call anyone. That's like the last. And it started. You had me in the first half. Ted, great job. I'm like, oh, Dustin's home. He's having fun. But also, you need to help me right now. So speaking of help, I'm going to need a lot of it, because just before we move on to Deer Call here, we're about halfway through the month, and we had Spin Diesel out, so it reminded me I don't even have a unicycle yet. I know Walsh, you said you have one you can get me, but I'm running out of time. So we'll see how it goes. I have watched some YouTube videos on how to ride a unicycle, which I feel like if you can watch a video, you can do it, right? So but anyways, I might get hurt learning, so I think that's probably going to be more entertaining than like with your yoga. We will say, I guess we haven't had an episode since you've done your yoga. Well done. I actually thought you did a great job. It was a good class. You put your own spin on it too, but there was like some actual real yoga in there, and I know you came up with it all 100% by yourself, so good job.
There was one part, Lundy, I thought you did a great job overall. There was one part where, it was near the end, and it was basically just us laying on the ground. I don't know, we were supposed to think about something, but I wasn't listening because kids were crawling all over me. But it went on for like 3-4 minutes, and I really thought that you had actually fallen asleep, and I thought we were going to see Ted come and kick you to wake you up. But you weren't. You were just really focused, and I can honestly say you looked like a warrior out there.
Yeah, well, that's what you do in yoga class, Kev. You have to be so relaxed. You have to center yourself. You have to find yourself. And sometimes just taking those 4 or 5 minutes at the end of the class really helps you sort out your day and sort out your life. So I may have looked asleep, but I was working hard.
I gotta say though, my favorite part, because I was watching the whole Zoom thing and monitoring Zoom, was watching 3 kids crawl all over Walsh. So he was trying to do yoga, and he just went with it. He was also in the zone, like he was focused. And speaking of that too, I guess I failed by not telling you before that there were a couple of kids doing yoga as well, and I think we got about 24 seconds in before Lund said shit.
Yeah, there's a couple
so I was there with the teleprompter. Behind. There's kids on the call.
Thanks for letting me know, because I would have definitely let out a few more bad words if you didn't tell me. But thanks for everyone that took part, and hope you enjoyed it, and hope you learned a thing or two.
Yeah, I learned, what was it called? Lundy Asana, where you just lay down and have a snack.
Well, you tell me about your day, and you can have a snack if you want to.
That was my favorite move. I was dying laughing when that happened.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend Bree showed me all the proper moves, and then I came up with the Lundy Asana.
So if you haven't watched it, go to our YouTube page, like and subscribe as well. But it is actually, you could do the yoga if you want. It's a great yoga class. or if you just want to watch and listen to it, it's incredibly entertaining, and he did do a great job. So I think Lund deserves for lots of people to see that video because you absolutely nailed it. So
I had fun. Like I've never taken an actual yoga class. I did take a YouTube yoga class, I guess, but I've never physically been to a yoga class. So I did learn quite a bit and actually really enjoyed it. And my my lower back felt great after that class. So I might have to start making this a habit.
And that was actually an eventful weekend for you because you got your chest waxed a couple
my
days.
God.
Like a lot has happened between last episode.
Yeah, that chest waxing wasn't nearly as peaceful as the yoga. I'm just glad it's over. Like the Alana who did it did a great job, and she was a real team player, and and didn't care what I yelled out when she ripped out my hair. That's the first time I've been waxed too. I mean, I'm probably not going to rush back to go get waxed. It's kind of nice having a smooth chest for once, but I just don't know if it's worth it. Worth it for the amount of pain you have to go through.
Have you been exfoliating?
Yeah, that was the key. So for the first week after, she said just really exfoliate, and I said, okay, how do you do that?
I said, well, you give a loofah to Ted. And you,
but no,
LLP Lund's loofah partner.
Oh God. Yeah, so I'm glad I don't have any more bets out there where waxing is the punishment right now.
Right now.
Yeah. Hey, maybe in the future.
Well, I'll make another stupid bet.
It looked good. Like nothing wrong with chest hair at all, but I thought you looked very
aerodynamic.
Yeah, which is not something we say about you often.
I feel like I could glide through the water a lot quicker now.
Yeah, no drag.
Yeah, no drag.
Well, all right, now that we cleaned up that bit of business, I guess stay tuned for, probably me buying these three guys dinner, because I have no idea how this unicycle thing is going to go, but I'm going to do my best. So it's time for Lund to do his best, because it's time for another edition of Deer Call.
I think you might have you done research?
Is that close enough?
I think so, but I mean,
the three of us haven't even looked to.
Well, no, I'm going strictly off that one clip of Paw Patrol. So
yeah,
that's always your go-to. Every time we bring up anything, it's always like, no, I saw it on Paw Patrol. No, that's not how they did it on Paw Patrol. I learned this on Paw Patrol. Okay, Kev, we get it. You watch Paw Patrol. So yeah, no, I really haven't done any research, Kev.
I think we should. We got to figure out if it's right or not.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, maybe we should get an actual hunter on here, and then he can do a proper one. Is there an actual little tool for a deer call?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say you're our tool for doing deer calls, but that's not very nice.
Oh yeah, Ryan, do you hunt? No, I just go out and call the deer. Yeah. All my buddies bring the guns. I'm just out there calling the deer.
That's you're the real hero of the whole operation.
Yeah.
All right. Deer Call is brought to you by Andrew Russell and Associates, Red Deer and Central Alberta's real estate experts. With over 65 years of combined experience, they are Central Alberta's #1 real estate team. Looking to buy or sell? Let Andrew Russell and his team guide you through the process that has helped over 1,500 families in the last 15 years. Visit them at andrewrussell.ca.
And tell them Lundy sent you.
And I'm just going to throw some math at you guys. Over 1,500 families in the last 15 years. That's 100 families a year. Let's break that down even further. That's like a house sold every 3 or 4 days. So you don't get that good. You don't sell that many houses by being bad at your job. Truly, Andrew's a great realtor, one of the best in the city, if not the best. So check him out.
No, I'm really glad. I'm always anxiously awaiting a math breakdown on one of these episodes. So I'm glad we got there finally. 11 episodes, we finally got some good math. But I never thought of it that way. That's pretty amazing. So,
and from what he's been telling me, the real estate market is hot right now. So
yeah, like we could barely get a hold of him right now to try and get him on the show, or we're gonna try and get him for a tea time coming up as well. But I know he has said this has been like his busiest start to the year ever. So, and that's a testament to him. And yeah, still make sure you tell him Lundy sent you, because I guess we can't really help anyone move right now anyways, but eventually we still got almost over half a year. We're gonna make it happen. And I guess when we're talking about you can't do much right now, the last year has not been good for many people, many businesses, or many things, but it's been pretty good for a couple different things, and one of them is probably the board game, right? You kind of get back to your roots, get back to your childhood, spend a lot of time at home, play a lot of board games. So we wanted to know everyone's all-time favorite board games. So we got a little bit of a good array of some obvious ones and some weird ones too. And hey, this one was Dustin's idea, so thanks for the idea. And if this doesn't go well, then you should be ashamed of yourself.
I love board games, so I'm pumped up for this little segment.
And I'll get into it later too. It made me do a little research and it made me think of some of the weird board games that were out there as a kid. But we'll start off easy. Brady and Kathleen both said Clue, which is an instant classic. Even maybe one of the only board games I know of that was made into a movie too.
Was it a board game made into a movie or a movie made into a board game?
It was a board game made into a movie.
I feel like Clue is so
cool.
old that movies weren't even around when Clue came out.
I think there's a couple different versions of Clue.
Oh, there's a million.
A couple different.
Yeah, well,
a couple different
Clue
movies,
Junior, which was obviously a lot less murdery. It
What-
was more like who made fun of Colonel Mustard in the study with a name call.
Yeah, who spilt the milk in the bathroom?
I've played, Kev would know. He's got the game. I've played with his dog. Like, that's the most recent time I've played was with your kids.
Yeah, it's who ate the cookies and what were they drinking and at what time. That's what it is.
The
answer is always Dustin Moore.
Dustin, yeah.
Yeah, it was Dustin at the karaoke bar at 5.
Here's one that may be responsible for the most table flip board game flips in history. Leah, Terry, Ashley, and Jolene all said Monopoly. I don't know why I play that. I always get so pissed off when I play that game. I don't know why anyone plays it.
Yeah, you never trust the banker in that game either.
Oh.
Like the banker's always like stealing money from the bank or stealing cards, and yeah, there's a lot of tears shed if you're playing Monopoly.
You're right. The table flipping, like we had Kyle, my younger brother, on tea time this past week, and me and him would almost come to blows and flip the board game a number of times because he wouldn't trade me the green property or wouldn't give me the blue one. And yeah, I'm with you, Ted. It's a long, drawn out game, and emotions can run high.
I'm not saying it's the reason I got divorced, but it definitely didn't help stop my marriage from going pooey. I'll tell you that much. Is playing that game. There's some high emotions in that game.
Would you just play like heads up?
No, even with other people, like it's my fault because when someone's very competitive and they're losing, I like to remind them that they're not winning, and then I get a lot of money thrown in my face, and I kind of deserve it. So I just wish that would happen in real life. Like I could just be mean to someone at the bank and they assault me with $100 bills. Like, screw you.
Or the deed to their house.
Take my hotel.
You guys have to help me out with this one. I think I know what this is, and I think it's a board game. Kayleen said Crokinole. I think it's right where you flick the thing into the thing, right? Like the little disc, and you try to get it in the center, and there's like pegs in the way and stuff, right? Like, okay, so I have played that.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I guess it's a board game, but there's a little too much skill involved there for me.
Yeah, I've never played it before.
It's a fun one just to throw on the floor and to flick the discs around, and it's kind of like a mini curling with little barriers, and you're going for a hole, kind of.
I didn't think we'd get into so many innuendos with board games, but here we go. Ashley said this is, I think, a newer one, A Ticket to Ride. I don't know, Dustin, you've probably played that one too and know a little bit more, but it's
the Walsh family got me involved in this one. Back when we could play board games, we'd go over there, me and my wife, and I'd say, what is it, Kev, a 4-player game or 4 to 6 player game?
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 or 6, yep.
Yeah, some strategy, some...
Yeah, I mean, it's a strategy game. You're just trying to connect some cities with your train tracks or your trains. Sometimes I kind of get bored of some of that stuff, so I always just try and block everybody. And I never end up locking anyone, and I always lose by a lot. So I do have to
Sounds
say,
like a good strategy.
yeah. One day it'll work though.
Bree, Colin, Julia, and Logan all said Settlers of Catan, which is another newer one. Well, maybe not even that new. It's probably like at least 10 to 15 years old now, but one that might be my favorite too. And I never thought I'd appreciate wheat so much in my whole life until I played that game. But man, wheat is a hot ticket item.
I've only played it once and I was under the influence a little bit, so I don't really remember the rules. Like there is wheat that you need to collect. There's wood, I think, and then I don't even know what the point of the game was, but I know it got pretty heated. I mean, I had fun, I think. And
I think you had a lot of wheat, but you had trouble getting wood because you had too much to drink. So. All right. Yeah. See you guys next episode.
Hey-o. Yeah, wood is tough to get when you're drinking that much.
Yeah. My favorite thing about that game is like you'd when you'd like trade someone all your wheat, or they have, and then you play the Monopoly card or whatever for their wheat. But that's another game. Like I remember I used to play that a lot with my friends. Like probably I was in my early 20s, and that's another one that got really heated. And this one, I've never heard of this one. Maybe you guys have, but it came from my absolute hero, Ken Meinzer from the Toon Crew. So he said Stock Ticker.
Oh, I used to love that game.
What is it?
So it basically gets you introduced to the stock market or gambling at a very young age.
That's where it all started. Hey,
yeah, that's not surprising that you played that game then.
I can't remember the actual, because it's been like 25 years probably since I played it, but it's a lot of luck involved too. But you buy different shares of like gold and all these different stocks, and then you would roll the dice to see whether or not the stock goes up or down, and I think whoever has the most money at the end wins. That's probably a really simplistic version of it, but yeah, I used to love playing that game because I thought, oh man, if I can be good at this game, I can be good at the actual stock market and just make millions growing up. But that's not how the real world works.
No, because I thought about it with this next game that Brittany brought up. I thought, hey, if I could be good at this, I can be good at it for real. But she said the game of life.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't even that good at that game, and I'm even worse at the real thing. I just remember usually ending that game and I'd have like 7 kids. And my job was like it never turned out great for me. But it was a fun
What was
game.
your job? What was your job?
I can't remember, but it was like whatever, like the lowest job. I kept getting fired.
Yeah.
Disc jockey.
Yeah.
Oh no, I made more money than that. It was like one step above radio host.
Did you guys have a go-to? Like, did you start by going to college and going into debt, or did you just go to the real world in that game?
I went into the real world and went into debt at the same time. You play off your real life experiences.
I was always going to college.
Yeah, it depends. I think I usually did I would skip that and go to night school and start making money right away and upgrade later.
Just working 2 jobs and working yourself to the bone.
Coming home to 7 kids and Lund doesn't have dinner on the stove. That's
tell you what, man, if you have 7 kids, like we're gonna have to renegotiate the rent. 7 kids?
Yeah, that's a lot. 6 is your max, I know.
Yeah.
So the last one, and this was my favorite, one of my favorites too, because zero strategy at all. And of course, Riley and Chanel both said Candyland. You guys, you've never played Candyland?
I've heard of it.
It was like the ultimate kids game. It was just, everything was made up. Like, listen to some of these characters. My favorite was Gloppy. He was like just a big pile of chocolate, but he looked like a big pile of poo. The Duke of Swirl is another character in the game. Grandma Nut, or Grandma Nut, Fluffy Puffer, and my favorite, Grandma Gooey. No, that actually, for you guys, especially with kids, like it might cost an arm and a leg now to try and find it because it's a vintage game, but it is perfect because you just roll the dice and whatever happens, and it's a lot of bright colors and, distress. So Dustin, you would love it.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this game, to be honest.
That's a little bit older one, but it's a classic. So any of those ones, for you guys, any of your favorite games that we didn't hit on?
So for me, I've got a couple. Snakes and Ladders was always a really, really fun one to play.
Or shoots if you're afraid of snakes like me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Twister. Yeah, Twister's a fun. I don't know if that's a board game, but
Oh, it was like a grade 8 party,
yeah.
play it and brag to your friends type of game. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I touched your leg.
Yeah.
So those are mine, I guess.
My favorite game, and I don't even know if this is a board game either, but Kerplunk.
Oh yeah.
When you pull this, all the marbles are in there and you pull sticks out one by one, trying not to let marbles out. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one a lot.
And then when you turn 18, you can play Drunk Kerplunk, and you take a drink for every marble that drops.
Okay.
I never even thought of that.
Well, it's a perfect rhyme. It's a perfect setup. So
Yeah.
Operation.
Yeah,
I was
that's
going
a
to
good
say
one.
no one said Operation.
That's a good one.
it's a really good
Now,
one.
this made me think too, like, just, I remember the commercials and stuff. Like, there were some weird random games always coming out. Like, do you guys remember, like, I remember even the one, Don't Wake Daddy. That was a weird game. Do you guys remember Gooey? This is bad timing to bring this up because of the name Gooey Louie. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Where you literally pulled snot rockets out of this guy's nose, and if you got one that was, and then there's one that, like, when you pull it, his brains pop out and you lose. That's literally the whole game.
No,
And it's
I've never heard of
called
that.
Gooey Louie. And there's another one I found too. It's the same concept. I don't need to explain it. Called Pimple Pete.
Oh, gross. I know a big one for me when I was a kid. I really like playing Mousetrap.
Oh,
Yeah, that was another
what
one.
was that
Like-
one again? Yeah, I like that one.
You built the whole Mousetrap as you went, and then you tried to catch the mice.
I don't even think I ever got to playing that game because by the time you're done setting it up, you just like squirrel next. Man, there's some weird. I just did some research on like the weirdest board game. I haven't heard of all of these, but there's a game out there called the Crazy Cat Lady game. I think it's an older one. There's one called Foreclosed. So a little,
That's depressing.
Not, yeah, but this is, I gotta find this game. It's called Mr. Bacon's Big Adventure. and it says it's a mad dash through Meatland on your way to the frying pan. Who doesn't want to play that game?
Hopefully they turn that into like a ride at Disneyland or something.
And here's another one from 1967 that I think we're gonna find it and we're gonna play it on the show. It's called Feely Mealy.
Man, rhyming was a big
Yeah.
these names.
And
back
you
then.
literally put your hand in a box and guess what's in the box. And it's called the game that gives you a funny feeling.
So did they supply the things, or did they just give you a box and you had to supply the weird?
I don't know.
Spend $30 on this game and it's just a cardboard box.
Well, I don't know. We're gonna buy it and find out, I guess. But yeah, that was. I saw that one. I thought, okay, I gotta have that. But you think, okay, as a kid, you do it. I don't think I would play that with you guys, like on just a normal night, because I'd be afraid of what I'm putting my hand into.
Yeah, my mind's going wild right now on what we're going to do when we actually create this game. I can create it. I'll come up with the stuff.
And we can see you start to sweat and go cross-eyed, so we could tell you're thinking pretty hard.
How did I get labeled as the dumb guy on this podcast?
I don't
know. It's the same reason why Walsh got labeled as the guy with blonde hair and a beard. Because it's just out there.
It's the truth. It's like I'm the short guy. It's just fact.
You're not even the dumb guy. You're just not the smart guy.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was just wondering if there was a moment in time where I became him, or if it's just me.
Oh my God, he was dumb enough to buy that. So moving on now to the third edition of Ted versus Walsh. It is a 1-1 tie, and we're bringing back, I guess, our first repeat guest of Oh Dear, Coworker Erin. Welcome back to the show. You're going to run this game for us, and I guess I can't really call you Coworker Erin anymore. You and Dustin both abandoned me, so I'm using this opportunity to grind that axe, first of all. And I guess congratulations on your new job.
Thank you. I was sad to leave you, as I'm sure Dustin was, but we're in different places now, and that's okay. I'm really nervous about this. This is a lot of pressure. When I was just on to talk about bad dates, I had no problems with that, but kind of being responsible, holding your guys' fate in my hands and the success of the podcast, really.
Oh, that's the best.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no pressure, Erin.
Well, Erin, and we could talk about bad dates because you don't see me every day now. You don't get to hear all the stories, and I need a lot of advice, and I've got nowhere to go with it. So I guess that's why I'm a little upset. But we're happy to have you back. And I guess how's life? It's been 6 episodes. Now, you've been listening, you've been waiting in the wings. How are things in the last 6 episodes? And what bad things do you have to say about Lund?
Okay, first of all, Lund is a national treasure and the absolute breakout star of the podcast. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to put that on all of you.
Let's get Erin on the podcast more often.
No, I love it. You guys have been doing an amazing job, and I'm really enjoying listening to the podcast, and now really excited to be back on.
It amazes me. You basically just called Lund Nicolas Cage.
Wow.
That's quite the compliment. Wow.
I don't know. I'm not a big Nicolas Cage fan, so.
And you're not a big Lund fan.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
but Dustin, you're the dumb one, Dustin. That's a little bit of an inside joke with us and Red Deer.
You'll hear it when you listen back before this, Erin, that we decided Dustin was the dumb one.
I'll reserve judgment. I feel like you're being mean, but I haven't heard the rest of the podcast. So maybe it really is a term of endearment.
You just set us up for failure there. So not only, Erin, you're the first guest to get to run a versus game. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be the first guest to do an ad read because Lund gave it everything he had earlier and he's tapped out. So who is Ted versus Walsh brought to us by?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ted. Ted versus Walsh is brought to you by Travis Kletke, chartered professional accountant and partner at Swainson Alexander, located downtown Red Deer, building connections through exceptional service and trusted professionalism, one client at a time. Learn more at swainsonalexander.ca.
Oh, we're gonna have to.
We just got served.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring Erin on for ad reads now.
Yeah, we'll just bring you on for the ad read, then kick you off the Zoom call till the next ad read. And
I feel like that was a little bit triggering for you, Ted, having to listen to my phone voice in the office so much, which I know you hated. So
Erin was full of crap when she answered the phone. She answered. Like, Erin speaking, like, do you remember Office Space where she answered the phone? Just a moment.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was. And the athlete will corroborate my story too, if I use that word right. It was so phony.
Erin, I think you can go ahead and clear your schedule on Thursday nights. We're going to need you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Whatever you guys need, I'm here for it.
And so, like we mentioned last episode, Erin, we thought about we kind of did this at the beginning, the first 4 episodes where we asked questions, got to know each other, but now we're doing an actual real deal Newly-Wed game. So I got to answer questions about Lund. Walsh has to answer questions about Dustin to see who knows their life partner better. Because obviously I live with Lund, I know him a lot. Walsh and Dustin have known each other since they were colleagues in grade 7. So there's a lot of history there. So that's it for me hosting this. It's all in your hands, and we're looking forward to this.
All right. Well, I've kept them podcast appropriate, but I do have an extensive list of questions I'd like to ask you guys around a fire one night that are less podcast appropriate.
I don't know. We've said the word pooey like 10 times on this podcast today, so it's fine. All
right. Well, I feel like whoever wins is only going to have 2 points. These are going to be pretty tricky, but I'll give bonus points if you're extra funny. Am I allowed to do that?
You're the boss. You're the boss.
All right. Question number 1. What is your partner's quarantine nickname? That is the way that they feel right now and the last thing that they ate. So if you're like a melancholy sourdough.
That is going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
I said sexy chicken.
That's much better. I said sassy pizza.
Oh, I almost put pizza too.
You guys live together.
Yeah, but I'm down here getting ready and he eats whatever. So I don't watch him eat, just sleep.
Yeah.
I said happy chips.
Ooh.
I almost went happy too. Shoot. I went.
Well, now he's sad.
Dumb BLT.
I could go for
Dustin,
BLT.
I don't know why you keep saying you're dumb. All right, so zeros across the board.
0-0. what is your partner's everyday superpower? So that's like my everyday superpower is, even though I have the palate of a 4-year-old child, my superpower is the ability to take any shot, no matter how gross, and do it with a straight face. So what's that everyday superpower?
Oh.
It's tough when you have so many, Lund.
Yeah.
I feel like I know Dustin. So if Dustin doesn't write down what I'm thinking, then
I don't think I wrote down what you're thinking. Now you confuse me.
Well, don't listen to her.
Yeah, I think I wrote down what Kevin wrote down.
You pay attention to what I feel.
All right, Ted, what you got?
I said putting up with Ted.
Oh, that was a good one too. I said not sweating the small stuff.
No, I was gonna put no pet peeves.
Yeah, I thought that's.
Man.
I was gonna write down not giving a fuck, but it's PG, so I'll just say it into the microphone.
I said chugging beer.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Yeah, I thought.
All right,
Kevin, I
Walsh
thought
and
I thought you were going to say chewing things.
Oh,
My other one was going to be inhaling food, but
I feel like we both missed an easy one there.
Damn it.
Oh, that's a good.
but you
that's a
chewing
good
things
question.
isn't a superpower. That's just a weird thing you do.
Yeah, I should have said
Your
chugging
ability
beer.
to chug beer is very
Is-
impressive.
incredible.
Yeah.
I made a mistake there.
He can also eat a Big Mac in 3 bites. So
See, like that's a
I
superpower.
agree.
That is impressive.
Damn it.
All right, next question. What is their Starbucks coffee order?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't had this in a while, so.
If you're like me at Starbucks, you just ask for a large coffee and don't buy into all the different ways that they size their coffee.
then they won't sell it to you.
Maybe.
I know. I used to go to Starbucks with orders from people and think I was getting a practical joke played on me. All right, I don't know. This is just another shot in the dark. A caramel macchiato.
That's close. Mocha frappuccino.
That's not close at all.
That was close.
One's a hot drink and one's a cold drink.
Man, I'm trying to be supportive
Yeah, I know.
here.
Hot and cold, just like your relationship.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, without the lows, you can't have the highs.
All right. I said a large black coffee with ice cubes.
That's
Yeah.
I've had to get them that before.
I know.
Okay. So I'll see if you give it to him. So I said from Starbucks, I get the blonde black.
No way.
How? Okay. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Hey,
Honestly,
Kev.
just so we're on the board here.
Yeah.
I do think, yeah. I mean, it's black coffee, yeah.
What's a blonde black?
Well, they
It's just
they
the
give
type
blonde.
of roast.
That's when a blonde girl gives you your black coffee.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Oh,
All
you're
right.
a brunette. You can't serve me today, ma'am.
Yeah.
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 I can't. What am I supposed to bring Dustin? Yeah.
All right. This one, I'm going to separate out a little bit because I feel like that's the best way to do this. Ted, what is the worst thing that Lund has ever cooked? And Walsh, what is the grossest thing you've ever seen Dustin eat? So, Dustin, what's the grossest thing that Walsh has seen you eat? Lund, what's the grossest thing that Ted would know you've cooked?
I think Ted and Len might get this
Yeah, I
one.
think that's a layup for those guys.
You know, there's actually a couple. So we'll see if we're on the same page. I said we even talked about it in the interview with Louis, his salmonella crock pot chicken.
I put crock pot chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, Walsh, I'm between two. I think I might have went the other one that you wrote down.
I guess we'll see. I said his own hair.
Oh, no. I had that written down.
Yeah. Oh, what did you write? Well, show us what you wrote.
Paper.
Oh, that is not grosser than hair. I thought you guys were gonna get that too. I
I
was
had
positive.
it written down.
Yeah.
I just, damn it.
That was
I have
hard.
a lot of questions.
There was a
about
lot of
it.
options that I had to go through in my
Yeah.
head there.
The only thing, as long as you didn't write down vegetable, you had a chance.
Yeah, I know. I knew that wasn't it.
because he's never eaten one.
Damn it.
All right. To follow up on the food theme, what would your partner bring to a dinner party? And to be fair, it's been over a year since anybody's been to a dinner party. So I imagine your dinner party skills are probably a little rusty.
I think London and Ted have a dinner party every night.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, and you're not invited, Kevin.
Well, I wouldn't come anyways. This is against the rules.
Good. I guess we're all on the same page then.
I don't know. I'm not going to give you a lot of credit, Lund. I don't think you'd cook, so I said he would bring ice.
Well, you're on the right track. I said KFC.
3 letters.
Yeah.
I could maybe change this to.
Oh, I thought you had it there for a sec.
All right. I said warm beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
that counts.
Walshy.
Oh, damn it.
Love it. 2-1.
Wee.
I got to say, if there's anything about Dustin, it's if you invite him over for a board game night, he always brings beer. And it was never in a fridge before it got there. And he never puts it in the fridge when he gets here. He just puts it on the floor and lets it sit there for 4 hours.
You might even throw it in the oven for a few minutes too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's the best way to go home with a full case of beer.
Yeah.
So-
Hey, that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of beer leaving this house afterwards.
What is your partner's boxing match entrance song? So London Dustin, they're about to duke it out. What's their hype song? What do they walk into?
That's so easy for Dustin. Do I get points if I guess Dustin's right?
Is it?
I'll give you a quarter point, Ted, if you guess Dustin's.
Oh,
I don't know if I have his, but I know what
point.
it should be.
Oh, there's so many good ones too.
I'm just going to go with one I know we both enjoy together and hope for the best.
Oh.
I'm ready to give you a point, Ted. So
Yeah, I'm ready. I don't think it'll be this time.
I don't think so.
I took a shot in the dark. I know he loves it. It's Truth Hurts by Lizzo.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a good one. Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus.
I should have thought. And just for a bonus point, maybe we'll see. Don't say anything. I think Dustin's entrance song would have been Timber by Kesha and Pitbull.
Timber.
guys.
We got a quarter of a point.
I got a quarter of a point.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's 3 to
That
1 and a
was too
quarter.
easy.
Attaboy, Walshy.
No one knows what Lund has a lot of songs.
I would have got
that
Party
going.
in the USA for Lundy.
Would you?
Yeah.
All right. You're all shipwrecked on an island.
Oh no.
What role does your partner play? You're shipwrecked on an island. You all have to have jobs. You've all got to be responsible for something. What are they going to be doing? Not what you want them to do. What do you know they're going to be doing? What jobs are they going to assign themselves? Master of tanning?
That's his job?
Yeah. Yeah, you make it look so easy. It doesn't feel like work for Lund. Oh, if you're giggling now.
Yeah, don't put down what you had down.
I don't know. I said Lund is going to find a way to make alcohol.
Oh,
Ooh.
I was going to be master of finding shade.
Oh, I wasn't even close.
God, we're not on the same page at all.
Samsonite. Way off.
All right. The first one is my answer, but I have 2 answers. The bad idea guy, or he's planning the next Chubbs golf tournament.
Oh my God. So Erin, I'll leave it up to you. I put the top one's me, and I thought Walsh would be the fireman. So I said I would plan a game.
You know what? I'm going to give you guys a quarter point.
Walsh would have been the fire guy, though.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I had for Lund, and I knew he would. Then I realized he's not going to put that.
Oh, I was going to put that, and then I realized you'd never give me credit for putting that.
Damn it.
So.
And I was like, I'm going to give Lund credit for being a fire guy. We are.
It sounds like if you guys just respected each other, you'd do a lot better in this game.
That sounds hard.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Got to run the table here.
An easy layup, hopefully. Who is your partner's favorite Ninja Turtle?
Is it bonus points if you spell it right?
I was just going to say, I look forward to all the spellings of these, including my own.
Yeah, phonetic spelling is fine. I mean, there's only one right answer, and you should all be writing it down.
Okay, I had said Michelangelo, whatever his name is.
Michelangelo, come on.
Raphael.
Why would you pick Raphael? Nobody likes Raphael. Raphael doesn't even like Raphael.
Raphael is a lone wolf. Goes on his own, gets the job done.
Yeah, that's not you.
He's a dark, brooding asshole. That's not you,
not
Ryan.
now.
You are Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I didn't ask who they were. I asked their favorite. Yeah.
I said Michelangelo, too.
All right.
4 1/4 to 1 1/4. There's an opportunity for bonus points here based purely on how I'm feeling at the moment. So,
All right.
Oh, nice.
All right. I feel like this is going to cause a domestic between Lund and Ted.
I like it.
Add it to the list.
It's okay. They have a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your partner's worst habit? So Lund's worst habit, Dustin's worst habit.
You should know what this is.
Boy, you complain about so many things.
That's
so.
true. Well, you did do a lot to complain about. I just wrote shoes because every time he comes in the goddamn door, he takes his shoes off right in the middle, and I trip over them. One time I fell down the stairs because his shoes were right there in the middle.
You didn't fall down the stairs?
Yeah, I did.
And your shoes are always right in the middle too.
No,
I'm sure
I
if you
moved
go
them to the
look, I'm sure if you go look right now, your shoes are going to be right in the middle.
No,
What did you say, Lundy?
Dirty kitchen.
I was gonna put that, but I think I do.
I think it's pretty.
I do
good.
the same thing. Yeah, but no, it is the shoe right in the middle
Shoes?
every time.
Well, I gotta do the same thing with your shoes
No,
too.
you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Can we move on yet? Or
My shoes are never in the way.
Well, now I'm purposely gonna leave my shoes out. Just
You won't have to because
just
you
to
do it
spite
anyways
you.
because you're an inconsiderate jerk.
Yeah.
way to go, Aaron.
Shoes. Oh my god.
Honestly, I got one more question, and
Okay.
now
Can I answer?
No, now we got it out. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
All right.
Please.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chewing random things.
Oh, I said twiddling my hair.
Oh,
No.
you twiddle your hair?
That's just cute.
I do.
Yeah, that's really no points, but like maybe minus a quarter for London Ted because
Yeah.
Yeah, take away that quarter point.
Yeah.
But it shows that
Yeah, that's
you've
the worst
matured.
habit.
Because before you would twiddle it so much and then you just rip it out and you'd eat it. And now you just twiddle it. You're growing up.
Yay. Yay for adultism.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a word, but
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to now flip the coin here. What is the sweetest thing your partner has ever done for you? So, Ted, what's the sweetest thing Lund has ever done for you? Walsh, what's the sweetest thing Dustin's ever done for you? I'm hoping it's like tucking you into bed when you're sick and giving you a kiss on the forehead.
Not quite that.
Okay.
I have to go with my Christmas present, the Golden Girls mask.
Yes.
When he texted me and said, "There's a gift for you on the table."
I just put letting him move in.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Up until that point.
Well, shoot.
Letting him move in was just a business decision. That Golden Girls face mask was actually like the most thoughtful gift I've seen anybody get in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. I didn't know it was that good, but I'll
Yeah.
take it.
So we didn't get the points, but
Give us a quarter point at least, Aaron.
I'll give you that quarter point back.
all right.
all right.
Okay.
I
Tough
know
but fair.
I know that Dustin has done many sweet things for me, but it's usually past midnight, so I don't remember any of them. So what starts that off? He brings me beer.
Oh, I couldn't think of anything. I put befriended him.
Oh, back in grade 7 when I was 3 feet tall.
Befriended him.
All right. How many women has your partner taken to Cilantro and Chive to try the burger of the month?
I said 2.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Hey, we did. We got
I'll give
it.
you it.
I said 2 as well.
Oh, it was just one. Just Ashley.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Well, we gave it everything we had.
yeah. Hey, you know what? We got at the very least, we got some things out on the table that we needed to say to each other.
And I learned you fell down the stairs.
I told you I did.
Yeah, I thought you were just bullshitting.
No.
though. Who falls down the stairs?
Someone who trips over shoes.
I've learned that in addition to a lawyer, you guys also need a couples therapist.
Yeah. That was like episode 2. We talked about that. I mean, I've seen you fall up the stairs a couple times.
Yeah, going up the stairs is tricky though.
I'll give Lund that. It is harder. I've fallen
Yeah.
up the stairs more than I've ever fallen down them.
Yeah, like especially if you're like excited to get upstairs and your feet are moving faster than your brain.
Yeah, and you just need to get to bed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Aaron. We made it through. Walsh, big win there.
It's a huge win, Walsh.
Yeah,
4 1/4 to 2 1/4.
Hey, but you know what, Lund? You're not predictable. You know, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It was fun. At least we got to do something together. Thank you, Erin. I'm still going to call you Coworker Erin because I just can't not. And I guess I'm going to keep blowing up your phone for life advice because it's not going great. But you already knew that.
No, I am honored to be here again and to run this game. And I hope I did it justice because honestly, what the people want is more Netflix or nonsense. And if you don't bring that game back, I, as a podcast fan and listener, will be very sad. So more Netflix or nonsense, please. I do have a game suggestion for the next round if you guys need a little bit to continue on this newlyweds idea. Our friend Joe, Ted, has suggested that you guys do questions about the wedding traditions, whether they're made up or real, and the anniversaries. So like first anniversary, is it paper? Is it metal? Is it whatever? You could really carry it on. So Joe has suggested that for you guys.
Yeah, marriage questions are really good for me. I'm an expert. I can tell you what the first anniversary is. And the third anniversary present is a court date, I believe. Yeah. Thank you, Erin. It was great, again, to have you join us. Maybe we won't wait 6 episodes. Obviously, we want to get you in the studio with us, too. So hopefully that's coming soon. But we're going to stick around because we're going to let you do some final thoughts as well. I didn't tell you were going to do this, so you can go last. But first, as we get to the end of the episode, thank you, everyone, again, for hanging on. Man, this was all over the place again. Thank you to our episode sponsor, Louis Corvo, Warren Sinclair, LLP.
Thanks, Louis.
Yeah. And one more time, what's that saying?
When your marriage gets pooey, call Louis.
So thank you, Louis. Again, it was great hanging out with you. And as always, thank you to our presenting sponsor, Bose Bar and Stage. And yeah, with that, we'll go to you 3 and Erin for some final remarks.
Yeah, I'll start. For those of you that are having trouble doing stairs, I mean, it's not that tough. You just put one foot in front of the other and you go up or down. So I don't know what Ted's big deal about going downstairs is.
It's not the stairs, it's the shoes at the top.
Yeah, a big whoop. A pair of shoes. Cause a whole bunch of ruckus. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll do my best to move my shoes going forward.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear from you.
Yeah, but if I see your shoes, if I see one pair of shoes at a place, I'm throwing them out in the front lawn.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking about right in the middle, right when you walk in the door, and take them off and don't even move them to the side.
Okay.
Hey, it's fair. No, we're establishing ground rules.
Okay, we should have done this 3 years ago.
I tried.
Should have wrote it into the lease agreement.
We should have a lease agreement.
Yeah. All right.
That's your fault.
Next.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening through these two blabber on about shoes for the last 20 minutes. Thanks a lot, Erin. I think what I learned tonight is me and Walshy have a great relationship, and I'm looking forward to continuing our friendship for many more years. And
would you listen to this guy suck up again?
Yeah,
no, it's fine.
Don't forget Mother's Day.
Oh yeah.
No, if we're heading into the May long weekend here. Hopefully you're enjoying it, traveling somewhere after these restrictions hopefully have eased. And check out our YouTube page and hit the subscribe button for us. Help us out a lot. And I think we have a few openings for episode sponsors as we move closer to fall winter. So if you're ever looking to get your business out there and chat with the boys and Erin on some episodes, DM Teddy and he'll get you some information. So again, just thanks to everyone for listening and the sponsors and partners that we have so far.
Just thanks to everyone. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you, Erin, for joining us. I really enjoyed our in-person interview with Louis. I've missed the last few, so it was really nice to see you guys.
I just want to congratulate you guys on 11 amazing episodes. Like Dustin said, for any sponsors out there, hey, I'm available for ad reads anytime, no problem. Love to jump on. And thank you guys for having me on again. It was really nice to see you all, even if it's still virtually.
Yeah, the weather kind of threw us for a loop. We were going to try and have a backyard hang, but next time or in the summer, maybe we get out on a boat this summer to do an episode too. And I know Lund might get his wiener boat out.
Yes, wiener boat.
And cook some hot dogs on the boat, and that's why we call it the wiener boat.
Let's
clarify that.
I was waiting for what the hell is that boat?
But really, thank you, Erin. You know, it was a little bit late too on a Thursday night for you to join us, so we always appreciate it. And yeah, I guess you've shown London and I we've got some issues to work out. But thank you for joining us, and thank you everyone again. As Dustin mentioned, social media, as always, give us a follow. Help us pump that logarithm up hard. So follow us on social media. Subscribe on YouTube. Logs. Be part of the Log Squad.
Yeah, come on, Log Squad. Swipe up.
But really, thank you again, everyone. Can't wait to see you all for episode 12. And I guess I'll just end off by saying, since I have the final word, that I'm right about the shoe thing.
God damn it.